When religion becomes a reason to hate, something sacred has been lost. The conflict between Iran and Israel is often talked about in terms of politics, power, and history. But beneath all of that lies a deeper spiritual question that every human being should reflect on. Are we truly honoring God, or are we using the idea of God to justify division, anger, and harm? So why do conflicts still happen in the name of faith? But instead of focusing only on nations and governments, there is a deeper lesson here for humanity. Because every time religion is used to justify harm, it should make us pause and ask a difficult question. Have we misunderstood what spirituality is truly meant to be? True spirituality is not about proving that one group is right and another is wrong. It is not about claiming moral superiority. It is about understanding our responsibility toward one another as human beings. And when we forget that, we lose sight of the very principles that faith was meant to protect. Sometimes we look at global conflicts and think they are distant from us. We see them as problems belonging to governments or nations. But conflicts between nations often reflect something deeper that exists within humanity itself. Division, fear, the desire to defend identity at all costs. But spiritual growth asks us to look inward before looking outward. Before we judge entire nations or groups of people, we should ask ourselves something important. How do we treat the people around us? Do we act with patience? Do we speak with kindness? Do we allow anger, pride, or fear to control how we see others? Because the seeds of conflict often begin in small ways inside the human heart. The way we treat others, the way we respond to difference, the way we handle power, belief, and identity. Spiritual traditions around the world warn us about this. They remind us that ego, anger, and pride can easily disguise themselves as righteousness. And when that happens, people can convince themselves they are doing something holy, while actually causing harm. This is why moments of global tension should not only make us analyze politics, they should make us reflect spiritually. They should remind us that faith is not meant to be a weapon, it is meant to be a guide toward compassion, a guide toward humility, a guide toward remembering that every human being is part of the same creation. The lesson here is not about choosing sides, it is about remembering responsibility. If humanity truly wants peace, it cannot only come from governments or agreements. It must also come from the choices individuals make every day. The choice to listen instead of attack, the choice to understand instead of judge, the choice to treat others as fellow human beings rather than enemies. Perhaps the greatest spiritual awakening humanity needs right now is not about proving which belief system is right. It is about remembering the values that almost every belief system teaches. Respect life, protect what is sacred, and do not use the name of God to justify harming what God has created. Because when we lose sight of that, we risk turning faith into something it was never meant to be. And that is something every one of us should reflect on. Comment down below.